Hello and welcome to another great episode of This Week in Comics here in Comic Connections in Banbury, Oxfordshire's longest running comic book store. This week we're going to be running down all the great comic releases, not all of them, my favourite comic releases of this week, which is week 24. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the first of this week's big releases we're going to be looking at is from DC, and it's Event Leviathan issue 1. Now this is an issue 1, but Event Leviathan's been kind of bubbling in the background. If you've been reading Action Comics recently, the past sort of 5 issues, you'd have seen a big build up to this. We also, a couple of weeks ago, had a $10 special, which again leads into this. But this is the mini-series that is going to be having ramifications on the DC universe for quite some time. It's going to be crossing over into Action Comics as it has been already. I do understand it's going to be crossing into Batman titles as well. But if you want just the main book, the main core of Event Leviathan, this is the place to get it. Basically, if you don't know what this is, it's a crime syndicate taking over all the other crime syndicates, the science labs, everything like that in the DC universe is being taken over by Leviathan. We don't know who Leviathan is yet. We are going to find out hopefully in this. If you read Year of the Villain, the freebie that a lot of you got at Free Comic Book Day, you will have seen kind of build up to that in this. It wasn't plastered on the cover of Year of the Villain, it should have been. But yeah, if you read that and you like what you saw, Event Leviathan is your next step. Now, Event Leviathan would normally be my most anticipated book of the week, and as much as I'm looking forward to reading it, there is a title I'm looking forward to reading even more. And I know I'm one of the few around these parts that does read it, and that's 5 Years from Terry Moore. If you don't know who Terry Moore is, he is the mastermind behind titles such as Trains in Paradise, Echo, Rachel Rising, and Motor Girl. And what 5 Years does is it brings all the characters from all those books together. So if you've been a fan of his work in the past, this is a continuation of that. Now, Strange in Paradise has been his longest running and most well known of his titles, but although the main characters of that book are featured heavily in this, it's probably not the one you need to read to get the most from this book. Rachel Rising, all about witches, well worth checking out. Echo, which is kind of where the events of this book stem from, again, well worth your time. So if you want something a bit different, if you're after something not really superhero based, but based on a great creator who's done some great work in the past, always does good stuff, 5 Years, definitely worth checking out. Issue 2, hitting stands this week. I know a lot of you are reading the War of the Realms crossover from Marvel. It's a mini-series that spans all of pretty much the Marvel books that are coming out at the moment. It doesn't seem that anything coming out at the moment doesn't have the War of the Realms tag on the top. And Superior Spider-Man issue 7 is one of those. So if you're buying all the War of the Realms titles, this is one of those. I do understand there's almost 80 different parts to this series. So if you are buying them all, that's quite a lot of bang for your buck. But you can just read the main mini-series, you can just read the tie-ins you want to read. But Spider-Man's popular. This is the Dr. Octopus version of Spider-Man, aka the Superior Spider-Man. Check this out if you're a Spider fan, check it out if you're a War of the Realms fan. If you're a fan of both, it's a no-brainer. Now, normally on the show we talk about issue 1s, but this time we're going to be talking about an issue 2, and that is purely because the issue 1 of this title came out when we weren't recording videos. Sad times. But Batman and the Outsiders issue 2 is out this week. I know everyone's a Bat fan, there's a lot of Bat books out there, but if you want to see him leading a team of Outsiders featuring the likes of Black Lightning and Katana and some other characters I don't know the names of, check this one out. Issue 1 sold very well. I know a lot of you picked it up based on the fact that you collect all the Bat books. Issue 2 hitting stores this week. Hopefully you might be able to find some issue 1s if you missed it, but check it out, it's a good read. Back in the 1990s, we often got comics in a little bag because they contained things like posters or trading cards or armbands for the death of Superman. Well, that has come back, a comic in a cellophane bag, and that is Transformers issue 7 from IDW, and it's in a bag because you get a packet of the Transformers trading card games. Now, if you're reading Transformers comics, you're probably going to like Transformers toys, which probably means you're into Transformers trading card games. So that gives you a pack of cards and a comic for the price of just a comic. That's brilliant. Even I might start collecting both just because That is such a good deal. We can supply you comics if you want to continue collecting the trading card games and you're local to Banbury here in Oxfordshire. We have got a gaming shop called The Hive. They can supply you with more packets of these cards. But get your comic today, which I know you're going to love and read, and see what you think about the trading card game. A character that's had a bit of resurgence in recent years is the Silver Surfer. He's had some very good books which have been highly recommended to me by lots of people. And for those people that love Silver Surfer Black Issue 1 is out this week from Marvel and from Housewife's favourite, Donny Cates. Donny Cates likes doing his galactic cosmic books. He's done work on Guardians of the Galaxy and now he's working on probably the most cosmic and galactic of them all, Silver Surfer. So if you like the Silver Speedster, if you enjoy a bit of Joe Satriani and you've wondered where the character from the cover of Surfing with the Alien came from, Silver Surfer is where it's at. Check it out today. As discussed on the show last week, we have a signing this coming Saturday in store. David Hine is coming in to sign copies of his new image book, Sonata, and we have issue 1 in store today for you to come in, pick up, so you've got your copy ready for Saturday when you come in and meet him. It's from Image. Image always do good stuff, and a brand new #1 from Image is always a good thing. You know you're going to get something a little bit different, a little bit off the wall. This looks like some high fantasy work. Lovely artwork, very, very detailed artwork. But yeah, if you're looking forward to coming to meeting David Hine, check out issue 1, get him to sign it, you can have it signed to you. You can find out more about how he got involved in writing the book, what his inspirations were, all that sort of fun stuff. Come and meet a comic creator of one of today's most anticipated titles. That's Sonata, issue 1. And now, onto our trade paperbacks, of which there are 2. First one from Marvel is Avengers No Road Home. This is the follow-up to Avengers No Surrender. If you enjoyed that, if you enjoyed Mark Waid, Al Ewing, friend of the shop, working on the Avengers books, this is one you should definitely check out. If you have read as well Savage Avengers, this is kind of the lead-in to that. Or if maybe you read this and you didn't know about Savage Avengers, this is a good way of pushing you in the direction of that. If you've read neither, check out both. We've got copies of No Road Home in store in graphic novel form at the bargain price of £27. We've also got some copies of Savage Avengers issue 1 and 2 on the shelf. Pop into store, get them bought. And last, but by no means least, a few months ago we had the release of Detective Comics issue 1000, that big milestone for Batman. Well, if you missed it, or if you want it in a more sturdy format, if you want to bash around your copy of Detective Comics issue 1000, a lovely hardcover version has come in. It's oversized, it's got everything you had in the standard issue, but in a lovely hardcover format. They did the same with Action Comics last year. I got the hardcover edition of Action Comics 1000, as well as the normal floppy version. So if you're a Bat fan, if you want a lovely book for your shelf that celebrates 1000 issues of Detective Comics, that's the way to do it. And that brings us to the end of another video. Hopefully we recommended some good stuff to you. If there's some books out this week that we didn't mention and you think were worth a mention, by all means leave a comment in the comments below, and I'll read your name out on the show next week. How about that? You'll be internet famous like me, YouTube sensation. As we said, signing in the shop this coming Saturday, David Hine signing copies of Sonata. He'll be in from around about 12 o'clock onwards, so come in, get him met and get some signatures. If you can't get to Comic Connections here in Banbury, support your local comic shop wherever that may be. I will see you next week for more great chat, great comics and great bants. Latest taters.